Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mentor, Ohio. And thank you for joining me on this video. This was a recent card that was made at a buffet card class. I do have in-home classes at my house. So if you are in the greater Cleveland area, Lake County, go to my Stampin' Up! Site, which is Leigh, Leigh stampingup.net, and just check on calendar. And you can also find it from my blog, stampwithleigh.com. My calendar, just click on that and you will be able to see all my upcoming classes. But I am going to change this card just a little bit. This features the new in color hydrangea hue and also the blends, hydrangea hue, crisp cantaloupe, and peaceful pine. And this greeting is from the Prayers and Promises. And this greeting would be great for a sympathy card or also a get well. And just if someone is just going through a rough patch at that particular moment. So this was what was featured, and I'm changing it up just a little bit. This paper is the Artisan Sketch Garden Designer Series paper. It's black and white features, but it has open areas, which is great for coloring. So this was colored with the blends, and I have here, I had an extra. This is that same paper. It's just a different pattern, a different design, and I used certain colors, Golden Glow, Crisp Cantaloupe, and the Hydrangea Hue blending brushes to just apply ink to the surface of the paper. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm just making a few changes. So I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock that I've scored in the center, and I'm just gonna, wow, this one's really, that one's kind of weird. Let's see what's going on here. It's just cut a little cattywampy there. I just had to trim it a little. It is still weird. Okay, that is measuring 4 1/4, maybe. No. Okay, so that is not measuring 4 1/4. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's just pull out another piece of cardstock. We're going to cut it at 4 1/4, and that's either going to be scored or folded at 5 1/2 to center. So let's see if this one's going to be any better. You think you're all set, and then you go live, and you're like, something's not right. All right, so there we go. Much better, much more better. So I am going to bring in my basic white cardstock. These are the new ink pads, magnetic. Still adjusting. I do like that they are the felt, and there's just a different feel with this. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper. Okay. Yeah, because you usually tap, tap, tap. And I'm finding what works good with this is tap, 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 and then I do like a slide. So I'm going to stamp my greeting in the lower right section. And it's a little light, so let's turn that over. Try it again. I probably should have my mat. It is photopolymer, so let me pull that out. Give it maybe a little bit more time for the ink and paper to make contact. Much more better. Okay, so we have that. Mat put away. Get my ink stamp out of the way. So on this card, it's just strips of the hydrangea hue. The Designer Series paper was colored. punched, and then a stylish shaped circle die. What I'm going to do on this one is I have die cut one of the squares from the stylish shapes. I have colored it in with the same stamping blends, but also I don't know if you can tell, there is just a little bit of shimmer in areas on the hydrangea and the crisp cantaloupe. And I used the, after I colored, I used our new shimmer brush. So I have done everything except the leaves. So on these, you do have to either shake them or roll them to get the ink. You do also have to, it says push, prime them. So I've got these, but I really haven't played very much with them. And here, all I'm doing, since these are already colored with my blends, I'm just going in, because this is just a shimmer, to just maybe accent just a little bit. Not much. And then, yeah, that's, it does add a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of shine to that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my white. And this is basic white. And yeah, these dry, like I said, I haven't played with them that much. So I've got my basic white here. Did a pretty good job in centering. So then now all I'm going to do is I'm going to place my squares. So yeah, I don't know if you can, if the camera's picking up the little bit of that shimmer on there. And it did add just a little bit, make them, the areas where I put them a little bit darker. All right. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Just add my squares, very little spacing in between them. I'm going to, and I got to kind of move my head so I can look over my project. All right, so I've already got my dimensionals on the back. So you get to sit here and watch me peel all the packings off. And then I'm going to start with my center one. Again, get the packings off. Basically still the same, in a sense, card layout, but I'm just changing just a little bit. Just, I think this would be maybe not a step down, but it's not as involved, and that's fine. All right, so there, that is it. I've got my piece of basic white, and this is just a 4 by 5¼ to go inside. That way I can stamp or handwrite a greeting later on. I usually handwrite, it's just because I'm old school. And then this was the 26, 28 in color dots, and I'm going to use the in color butterflies for this one. So I'm just going to add, if I can get this. These are so cute. Let's add another large one. And do you want this one up here, or do you want it down? You know what? I'm going to put it down here, just a little bit closer to my greeting. And that's it. So this is what I started with. This was my second option with it. And again, I don't know if you can tell. This one has Wink of Stella on it. And then this has the shimmer brush. Just very, very subtle. And it did add, where I did put it, it did make the area a little bit darker also. So that's for some added shading. I really like that. The shimmer, yeah, okay, that's good. But I like that it gives me the option of having a little bit more shading and definition to my card here. So that's it. That's what I have to offer. Again, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.